So, yes. Okay. So hi, everybody. My name is Danielle Hartman. I am the president and CEO of Ruth and Norman Rales Jewish Family Services. And this is the second of 3 town halls that we have scheduled to introduce and answer questions about the new Toby and Leon Cooperman Therapy and Family Resource Center. So just so that you get an idea of how the evening will flow, I'm going to be introducing Beth Levine, who is our COO, who will tell you a little bit about the agency in addition to what we're providing through this new center, just a quick overview of the agency. Then I'm going to tell you a little bit of the background about how we got here and how we got to actually open up this center. And then I'm going to introduce Alia Longhurst, who joined JFS in December as the director of the new Toby and Leon Cooperman Therapy and Family Resource Center. So we did prepare a PowerPoint, but we will have plenty of options for you to answer questions or put comments or questions in the chat. So as we're going through the evening, I'll be monitoring the chat. So if you want to drop any kind of questions in there, if we haven't responded, then please, you can use the chat at any time. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Beth Levine, who is our COO, to give you a general overview of JFS.
Wonderful. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Danielle. Just a brief overview of our programs and services. Our first department I'm going to be talking about is food and financial assistance. In our food programs, we have a food pantry where we deliver packages every other week to our recipients, or they have a choice of coming into the pantry and selecting their items. It's a menu-based food pantry. Through our financial assistance, we have a wide variety of ways we can assist people, whether it be through rent, mortgage, financial through rent or mortgage, utilities, things like that. We also have a Hebrew-free loan, which is an interest-free loan program that we have that is really wonderful. And we have a lot of people in our community that do take advantage of that program since it's interest-free. In our counseling and mental health department, we have psychiatrists, psychologists, LCSWs. We have a wonderful partnership with FAU School of Medicine, and their psychiatry residents have been with us now for about a year and a half. Just to show you the need in the community, we started this program in September of 2021. By December of 2021, we had 200 psychiatry clients. So we definitely know we met the need in the community for psychiatry services. We also do psychological testing, and we also have opportunities for internships in the counseling and mental health department. We have a senior services department where we assist Holocaust survivors with in-home care and chore services. We also have a program called Caregiver Resource and Respite, which gives caregivers an opportunity to have a respite. It's a Friday program that prior to COVID was open at the Weissman Center. We also have supplemental services that goes through our senior services department, but very much a part of our volunteer department. Things like friendly visitor. If you have a shut-in senior, we'll send a volunteer in to say hello to them. Telephone reassurance, where we call once a day to say, how are you? What's going on? Talk about politics, things like that. All things to bring people back in touch with the community and see what's going on. So we have a bunch of services that run through senior services, and I'll talk a little further later on about volunteer department. At our Weissman Delray Community Center, it's a bustling center in West Delray for seniors to come and watch a movie, watch a play, participate in performances, play mahjong cards. We have a cafe there. It's really just a wonderful place for seniors in our community to come, to mingle, to meet other people. I tell a story when we first opened the Weissman Center. We had a gentleman that was in Kings Point who had just lost his wife. And he came over to see what it was about, wasn't really interested, came back the next day for a cup of coffee, met some men, played cards, and left. Long story short, he comes in every day at 9 o'clock and leaves at 5 o'clock. He plays cards, he watches a movie. And again, another opportunity for our seniors to come back into the community, be vibrant, meet people, and it's just a wonderful place. We have another department called Center for Families and Children, and this is what I call our JFS on wheels. We have case managers in area synagogues, day schools, and other organizations where they really are the hub of what we do out in the community. They can qualify people for food pantry. They can qualify people for subsidized home care. They can do short-term therapy. Anything that we do in the agency, they can do out in the community. And it's really been a very successful partnerships with the synagogues, day schools, and organizations. Career and Employment Services is another department, and it gets people job ready, whether it be reviewing resumes, doing mock interviews, getting people dressed and knowing what to say when you go on an interview. And there's a lot of people that come to us after not working for 10, 12, 15 years. There's a lot of people that have come to us that want to change in a career. A lot of people want to start their own business. And these are all the services we provide in Career and Employment Services. In our volunteer department, we have a variety of ways that people can get involved in the community, from doing a one-time food pantry delivery to calling a senior every day to visiting a senior. We have a shop and share program where if a shut-in senior can't go out and do shopping, a volunteer will do the shopping for them, deliver their goods. We have a program called Tech SOS, which is fabulous, where a lot of our seniors get iPhones or iPads from their families and they have no idea how to use them. And we send a volunteer in to help them with that. So that's just a very brief overview of the different departments and the programs and services at JFS. Thank you.
Thanks, Beth. So I just want to, and all this is on our website, and I'll put the website in the chat. So, we are a full service agency serving from children to older adults. So I just put the website in the chat if anybody's interested. So I wanted to kind of go through how we got here, because the story of how we got here really is the story of many, many people's efforts, some of whom are on this call today. And it really is a spin-off of the work that was started by the Jewish Federation more than 5 years ago, related to special needs in our community and some of the unmet needs that needed to be addressed. And I know, and the Federation had, and some of you on the call had served on several task force. There was a needs study that was done out of those task forces from Beit Izzy Shapiro. And for those of you who don't know, Beit Izzy Shapiro is a leading provider of disability services in Israel for all ages, from pre-K all the way to older adults. They were in our community almost 6 years ago now and did a broad review of all the services being provided by the many different agencies on our campus, and made a report, made a recommendation of some 2 priority unmet needs. One of which was a early learning classroom in the preschool, which is really outside the realm of what Jewish Family Services does. And the other was this concept of a one-stop shop where families could access supports that they need all in one place, whether it was for the child with disabilities or their family or their siblings or their caregivers, and on and on and on. And in that study, they actually recommended Jewish Family Services as a great house for this one-stop shop concept. So fast forward 4 or 5 years, we had the opportunity through conversations with the Rales Foundation to present them with this project, which they felt was a very big unmet need. And we feel, and I know many of you feel in our community, is a very big unmet need. And through their funding, through their startup funding, we were able to do renovations. We're in the middle of renovations on the 2nd floor of the JCC Sports and Wellness building on the Federation campus to create this therapy center, which Alia is going to describe to you. And so this really is a collaborative effort. In the conceptualization phases, many of our partners, some of who are on the call, like Ali Landman from the JCC and several pediatric experts from the community, helped influence what our sensory room would look like and some of the other elements that are in this therapy center. So without further ado, because I want to make sure we have time for all the questions that I hope you ask, I want to introduce you to Alia Longhurst, who, like I said earlier, joined JFS in December as the director of this new therapy center. Alia?
Hi, thank you, everybody. My name is Alia Longhurst, and welcome to our 2nd town hall. We are so excited to speak with you tonight about the Toby and Leon Cooperman Therapy and Family Resource Center. as we lovingly call it, the TFRC. The TFRC is an expansion of the existing JFS special needs program, and it will serve children from birth to 22 years old and their families. The center is designed as a one-stop shop for families with multiple therapy rooms, a multi-purpose sensory room, a few classrooms, and we're hoping to host a variety of therapies, support groups, classes, and workshop options for the whole family. Our team of professional staff will be here to help guide families through their journey of raising a child with special needs. With a variety of services and therapies provided under one roof, our center will be a home for families with special needs. Children with special needs require extraordinary care, and that often doesn't fit into the framework that many schools, providers, and outpatient therapies are accustomed to offering. We believe that the best results are achieved when all aspects of a child's life are taken into consideration. At the TFRC, we believe that the best possible treatment is customized for each individual. Recognizing the importance of each family and their individualized needs, the TFRC offers a range of information services, guidance, accompaniment, and support in addition to the prescribed therapies in order to help our families of young children and young adults with disabilities improve their quality of life. How is our center different? Well, I love this visual. I'm a visual person, so seeing this picture always makes me happy because it does clearly express how we are different in three distinct ways. For one, as I mentioned, we're aiming to be a one-stop shop for services outside of the home. So our clients will have access to the very important therapies that will impact the trajectory of their potential progress all under one roof. Also, thus substantially decreasing the amount of travel time that parents will spend going from place to place to seek all the help that their child needs and providing them with options on how they want that excess time to be spent. JFS has a proven track record of providing complete wraparound services for the entire family. So families at the TFRC will have access to all of the services offered at JFS, thus ensuring that all family members are able to benefit from the self-care and mental health options necessary for health and well-being. So here we show on the blue side our current existing services. As Beth and Danielle had described, we have case management, we offer financial assistance, information referral services, we have a wonderful mental health counseling and also psychiatry and medication management department. We offer support groups for families, siblings, grandparents, caregivers, and we do have workshops also. The plan is for the new center that we will be adding additional services. So those will include ABA, hydrotherapy, speech and language therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, also individualized family consultation. As I mentioned before, we have a multi-purpose sensory room, so therapies will be able to be done in that room. Also parental support and education and social skills group therapies. We are hiring therapists. So if you have a provider that you love or you're a provider interested in learning more, please feel free to reach out. The contact info will be on the last slide.
Oh yeah, we had someone in the chat said to please explain ABA. So can you give a quick explanation of ABA?
Of what ABA is. So ABA is applied behavioral analysis. In terms of how that will be offered at the center, we're waiting to see what the need is. Typically, you have a behavior analyst that completes a behavioral assessment on the child to determine what are the behaviors that we're looking to decrease. So those might be things like tantrum, physical aggression, self-injury, those types of behaviors. And then the behavior analyst will identify what the skills are that would be a proper replacement for those behaviors. So a functional behavior analysis is done where they determine the behaviors they want to reduce as well as the skills that they want to teach. And then they develop a plan for that. And typically the behavior analysts will be working with the child and the family. And a lot of times there might be a para or an RBT that might be helping them with the skills as well. So that is what ABA is. And it's honestly one of the #1 therapies for children with autism, but it depends on the behaviors that they're demonstrating. Does that pretty much answer the question?
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Sippy, would you like to share a little bit about the support groups that you currently offer that we're going to be offering at the center as well? She can unmute.
Yes, hi. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. So I've been with GFS for 6 years, and from the beginning, even prior to me coming, there were support groups for parents and caregivers of children with special needs that were done together with the Levis JCC Special Needs Department. And that has continued to this day. We meet every Tuesday morning. Right now we're doing virtual, and we have a great group of parents that meet weekly. They've really, they have a great camaraderie together. They really feel great support from each other. It's a great group. We even from that spun off a WhatsApp group, so that when we're not in group and in between the groups, if someone has an issue and just kind of needs to ask a question or needs some support, they could just write it in the group, which is really great. We also have every other Wednesday evening a support group also for parents and caregivers for those that are working and can't join us during the daytime. And we do those groups together also with a facilitator from JAFCO. So we both co-facilitated together. Also, we have a weekly grandparents group that started about 3 years ago, I think, also together with the JCC and also a co-facilitator from JAFCO as well. One thing that over COVID, I had the chance to become a SIP shop facilitator. So SIP shop is a group. It provides brothers and sisters with peer support and information in a lively recreational setting, and they really have a curriculum and different things to do, and that's something that I want to start up once the center, because I'd like to start in person ideally. It just gives them a safe space that they can really talk about what it feels like to be a sibling of someone with special needs. And maybe to do one for children and then one even for adult siblings, because that's something that I get a lot of calls on from adult siblings that need support as well. And that's what I'm doing now.
Great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you. And then obviously, what's not on here is also psychological testing. So ADOS and psychoeducational assessments as well. Are there any other questions about this? Does anybody have any questions about the current services or the new services? I know we are going to have time at the end for questions, but if you have anything, please feel free to put it in the chat and we can try and answer it as we go along. Okay. All right. So JFS will be accepting most major insurances. We're currently working on the credentialing process at this time. So we're currently in process with Cigna, United Healthcare, and Aetna. But a large portion of our budget will be for financial assistance so that no family in need of services will be turned away. We're committed to ensuring that any family who needs help and possibly doesn't have the capacity to pay for that help will still be able to access the services in a dignified way. If any of you, because this whole project is about the community, we want to service the community and what the community wants. So we are seeking feedback from the community on the therapies that you're looking for, the particular insurance companies that you would prefer, you'd like us to try to credential with. So we are seeking, no, we're not accepting Medicaid, unfortunately, at this time. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but at this time we won't be accepting Medicaid. But we would like to hear from you, so please continue. Are you planning on providing any services to adults with special needs over the age of 22? Not at the center itself. We won't be providing therapies, but we will have groups and things like that that they can attend. But in terms of therapies specifically, no, not for over 22. Any other questions?
Oh, I just want to add to that, just through the
Yes.
special needs department generally, we still work with adults and, whatever is needed as far as resources, and other things that they might need, that's still going to stay the same.
Right. Oops. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me go back here. Hang on. Let's go. Okay. I'm sorry, I went too far. There we go. All right. The objectives of the TFRC. So our objectives are to provide children with varying needs and abilities affordable access to treatment and therapies that allow them maximum realization of their developmental, educational, and personal potential, to equip parents and other caregivers with necessary information and to support and ensure a therapeutic continuum, and to provide the education and guidance needed to build stronger families. Why JFS? So JFS, as you can see, and as we've mentioned, we provide support through our spectrum of programs, which serve the entire family. We have had great conversations with the Levitz JCC, and we're working on collaborating with the local schools to offer the most streamlined and efficient method for referring and servicing the special needs children in our community. So based on our community collaboration, we're hoping that this will be the most efficient service for the kids that need it in our area. So about a year ago, JFS surveyed the special needs families in our community to get a read on what the need is for services, what people are currently accessing, what they would like to access, and some of the barriers to accessing these services. We've included some of the results here to kind of show how the community has shared what is important to them. So here, occupational therapy, social skills groups, speech therapies were the top services currently being accessed. And what would they supplement? ABA, occupational therapy, social skills groups, speech therapy. So these were all of this information was taken into consideration when we were looking to design the services that would be available at the center. In terms of barriers, I don't know how to make this part go away. Okay, so one of the biggest barriers was cost. In addition to cost, childcare issues, and lack of time, transportation challenges. So these are all things that we feel that the center would be able to address, since you will have one place to bring your kids. Hopefully, depending on where the kids are, they'll be able to stay for a certain amount of time and access multiple therapies, participate in therapy groups, and that'll give caregivers, family members time to spend with their other kids, spend some time on self-care. They can access the mental health department as well at JFS during that time if they wanted to for themselves or for their other family members. So it just frees up time to resolve this big orange bar that we see here, which is lack of time, which is most of us know is the biggest challenge, especially when you have kids with special needs. Why now? So some of you may already know this information, but for our community members who are not necessarily aware of the statistics, this is the why and now. Recent estimates in the United States show that about 1 in 6 children have at least one developmental disability diagnosed, and this number is continuing to increase. Locally in our county, approximately 31,700 children, grades K through 12, have a developmental or intellectual disability. And as we know, the pandemic has only compounded these challenges and caused more stress and struggle for the parents and causing more of these therapies to be out of reach. So we feel that this is the best time for the center to come in and provide support for these families that have been struggling, especially over the last 2 years. The next few slides I'm just going to play are some endorsements by community partners. Allie Landman, who is here tonight. Allie, would you like to say anything about our collaboration or share anything? Sorry to put you on the spot. Are you okay? You're muted. I don't know if you're talking. No?
There you are.
Hi, my name is
Hi.
Allie Lamman, and I am the director of the Helene Roy Schwedelson Special Needs Department at the Adolph and Rose Levis JCC. And I just have to say that it's been really nice to collaborate with JFS, and we're really looking forward to working together to provide this much needed service to our community.
Thank you.
I'd love to say something. Can I say something?
Sure. That Emily Grabelski, introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Emily Grabelski. I'm a parent of a child with disabilities, and my son went to all of the JCC programs, and I'm just saying, as a mom who drove her son for years and years, hours and hours in the car all over town to go to therapies, this is a real blessing for our community. And I'm so excited that the participants and the families that are all going to be coming to our campus, not only at the JCC, but at Donna Klein, the entire campus is going to be able to use this therapy center. I am just really proud that we're doing this for our community, and I think it's going to have a tremendous impact. And if we can do anything to introduce it to our families as they come to our campus, please let us know. I'm active at the JCC, and whatever me and Allie and all of us can do to get the word out, we're here for you, because this is a real blessing. I wish I had this when Sam was younger. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so the TFRC is located on the 2nd floor of the Sports and Wellness Building on the Federation campus. There will be 2 entrances into the building. This image is the entrance by the pool. There will be an access to an elevator as well as stairs, and there will be parking lots assigned for the center as well. We will be open to the entire community regardless of faith, and we will service all of Palm Beach County. As long as they want to come to our center, we will service them. Because of its centralized locations, families can take advantage of all the campus services as we were discussing, including those provided by other agencies like the JCC, who we're really excited to be collaborating with.
Alia, Judy
Yes.
Donoff, who's on the line on the call here, wanted to also make a comment. Judy, I unmuted you. You should be able to speak.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. I don't see myself, but if you can hear me, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yes,
Yeah, so I
introduce
just wanted
yourself.
to say also about having a center where you go to bring your child to for services is wonderful for the whole family, because having the experience of having therapists come into my house for a special needs child that I was raising was that it's quite disruptive to the other family. And it also, it's very stressful for other members of the family or other children who are in the home. And it also gives the family some respite time because the mother can probably leave for an hour, or the father who's ever dropping off the child, and then come back. And that's really, really helpful. And the other comment I just wanted to make was, I know that SIPI refers out other outside resources to clients for services we don't do. And since we're titled as a resource center, I think it's important to point out that if families come to the Toby and Leon Cooperman's Therapy and Family Center, and there is something that they need that we don't do, that we have a list of outside services that we can refer to. So that's also good in terms of it being a one-stop shop.
Great feedback. Thank you.
Thanks, Judy.
Thank you. This is an image of the blueprint. So we have several classrooms up at the top, therapy rooms, the multi-purpose sensory room. I'm really excited to see it once it's all done. So this is the before, and here, as you can see, is what we imagine to be like a therapy group in the classroom. This is what it looks like now, and this is what we're imagining it to look like once it's done. It's going to be beautiful. So showing for like SLPs. Okay. And this is a brief video from a family who received services from JFS and their thoughts on the center.
JFS has been part of our life for many years. As she got older, we wanted her to have an out-of-state experience, something away from home. So I talked to everybody at JFS, and they couldn't have been more welcoming and kind to help me. I was excited to learn that JFS is going to be opening a therapeutic family center next year. If it wasn't for JFS from the very beginning, we couldn't have done it. As a single mom, it's paycheck to paycheck as it is. So when they reached out and they were able to help us, it was a blessing.
Thank you, JFS, for helping me out.
Okay. All right, so our soft opening is scheduled for the spring, and we should be able to start intakes and scheduling of services. We're tying it in right into the beginning of summer. We plan on starting to book tours and family consultations in the spring, and we'll hopefully offer scheduled therapy shortly thereafter. If you or people that you know who may be interested would like more information, a chance to share about what you'd like to see offered, or you'd like to schedule an intake, please reach out to me. My contact information is posted here. Also, our hours of operation at this time, we're planning on Monday through Thursday from 8:30 to 8, Friday 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sunday 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So we should hopefully be able to access parents that are working full-time, kids that are in school full-time, as well as the ones that are easier to schedule during the day because they're on campus or things like that. So we're really trying to make ourselves as available as we can to the community.
I did have someone put in the chat about parking. For those people who are familiar with our Federation campus, which is where the therapy center is housed, parking is difficult sometimes, but excitingly for this center, we were able to come to an agreement that we will be able to have 2 access points. So there'll be some dedicated parking spots. I think it's 9 spots by the JCC pool, which will be one entrance into the center. And then there will be access to the center also from the back of the campus, where there's a big parking lot and a walkway back by the JCC gym area. They'll have a dedicated door with signage and an elevator. So there'll be 2 access stairwells and an elevator for those who need to not be taking the stairs. So we think that that should help alleviate any challenges with parking. But you know, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Somebody asked if you could please repeat the hours.
Sure. So Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 8, so 8:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You're welcome. So any other questions, any feedback, any comments, anything that you want to share?
We really want to encourage you, if you are already working with a therapist that you love, we're trying to build our collaborations with those local therapists. So we would love to have their name to see if we can get them to partner with us. So if I see something in the chat says thank you. Okay. So if there's no other questions, we do have one more town hall coming up in February. So hopefully if you learned a lot tonight and want to share with your friends, please like our Facebook page, which is where we're posting a lot of the social media about this particular endeavor. And I do want to just encourage you, if you want to meet with Alia ahead of time and sort of have a mini intake before we open, that would be amazing. And she's available for those, as well as Sippy, to do that. So if there are no other questions, we will conclude. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much
everybody.
for being here. Have a great night.
Thank you.